Hi there, it's Maya, and let's talk about grounding. Today's video is actually a subscriber request. One of our wonderful subscribers, Amy, said, do you have a video on grounding? Which I don't think so. I don't think I do. And she said, I have yet to truly grasp the concept of grounding, and there seems to be many different ways that the word is used. So I agree with that. And what we're going to be doing in this video today is I am going to be presenting to you the scientific concept of grounding. Grounding as a concept is actually related to electrical engineering. And then afterwards, we will speak about 6 ways that you can ground your energy. But grounding itself is a concept of electrical engineering that is actually colloquially referred to by scientists sometimes as earthing. And I think that right there gives us kind of a clue about what grounding actually is. They call it earthing because often when trying to ground an electrical circuit, they do so by connecting the circuit directly into the earth. The concept of grounding is one in which an electrical current, an electrical current traveling on wires is given a return path or a direct physical connection to the earth. This is done in order to prevent buildup of static electricity so that any extra electricity that has accumulated in the system will be discharged into the earth. It is also used to prevent dangerous high voltage in the event of a system failure. So if, for example, there's a sudden spark in the amount of electrical usage or something like that, an ungrounded connection could burn up, like all that electrical energy could create a fire. Or it could shock someone, right? Like it could become so abundant that it might, for example, kill the squirrels that run on the power lines or that type of stuff. So what's needed is to give the energy an outlet so that energy does not get built up, right, in the system, causing, for example, fires or causing short circuits or things like that. The idea of grounding as a metaphysical spiritual concept relates to us because we are actually electrical beings. Humans actually have an electrical charge, and this is kind of like the entire basis of metaphysics, is this idea that we are made of energy. We do actually have electrical signals in our body that keep our heart beating and that run our nervous system. And this is why if you die, like if you've ever seen a show where somebody dies and their heart stops beating, they can put an electrical charge, right? Like they can sort of shock that person back to life with the paddles. It's because that electrical shock restarts our electrical system and it brings us back to life. So indeed, we are electrical beings. Some of us are prone to being very grounded and some of us are not. In order to be a grounded human being, in order to be a grounded human being, we must keep our physical bodies connected to the earth. In terms of our chakra systems, this means being embodied in our lower chakras. Now, a lot of people who are naturally psychic and naturally really high vibe sometimes tend to embody the upper chakras a lot more. The more spiritual chakras, like basically the heart chakra and above. That's definitely been the case for me, and I think that it's the case for many of us. The issue with that is that when we are keeping our energy above the ground, it can actually get built up in our system, and it can cause us to lose our connection to the earth plane, and it can even cause some physical issues. For example, some symptoms of being ungrounded: confusion, disorientation. We can get headaches is a big one because a lot of the energy is cycling up here, cycling up here, cycling up here. It has nowhere to go. it needs to move downward, it needs to be discharged into the earth. And so when we're ungrounded, energy in general, but especially like negative energy, can get built up in our field, and it just cycles in our field, and it has nowhere to go. I think that this could lead to a variety of different diseases depending on which spots in your field are the weakest. There's definitely a connection between being ungrounded and also experiencing signs of mental illness as well, or mental imbalances or mental disorders. I think that one is for sure anxiety disorders, because anxiety is essentially getting overwhelmed by waves of energy. So maintaining our connection to the earth, being in our bodies, being grounded in the earth, it ensures that any energy that is no longer needed is moving out of our system and is discharged into the earth. And some people even believe that when we're grounded to the earth, that favorable biorhythms from the earth also move upwards into our body. And some other things that can cause us to be disconnected from our physical body. One is trauma. So a lot of people, if they face trauma, perhaps, for example, physical or sexual abuse, or even a traumatic incident like a car accident or something like that. In traumatic incidences, our soul knows, it's an automatic process, our soul knows to leave the body. And indeed, you guys, most of us leave our physical bodies every single night when we sleep. Even though your conscious mind probably doesn't remember like how to leave your body or when you've left your body, your soul knows how to leave the body, how to enter the body, etc. What can sometimes happen is that people can leave the body because of an uncomfortable circumstance in their life and then not come back, and then experience confusion, disorientation, no motivation, no ability to do things, and just get really disconnected from their physical life. So let's talk about what you can do if that has happened to you.